Hi, everybody. I have been thinking a lot since I did my last video on protesting. What are we protesting for? I think this is the next question in line is what is the right way to protest? Because everybody engages in this, right? Everybody tries to figure out what their best way is to protest. But the thing that really, it was Marilyn's live this morning. I should do an intro first before I jump right into the subject. I should give you guys time to roll in. Hi, Susan P. And have something I want to talk about before I start just talking about the subject. So I've wanted to talk about, hi, Pam, how are you? Protesting. It's been on my mind, like I said, since I first did the video on is there a right? No, I did the video on what are we protesting for? And I think we need to ask the follow-up question is what is the right way to protest? Because I was listening to Marilyn this morning talk about Chris Shelton dissing the protesters and saying that they're not effective. Hi, Ren Listens, how are you? Saying that the protesters aren't effective, that that's not the right way to go about it, that it's ineffective. But I guess my question to Chris Shelton is, hi, Lisa, then what is the right way to protest? He talks about YouTube and people are complaining about everybody being on YouTube doesn't make a difference. That's not a way to protest by just making more YouTube channels. So how exactly are people supposed to protest? If Chris is saying you need to protest like PTS for Life does, if we need to protest like PTS for Life does, well, that's really difficult. Hi, Lisa's day off. Hey, Maddie. Hey, Evie. How are you guys? Chris Shelton says PTS for Life is a good example about how to protest. But here's the thing. Jeff personally knows most of the people in that org. Hi, IMI. Jeff knows most of the people in that org. And so his form of protest is targeted at engaging directly the people that he's talking to because he knows them. And they're more prone to talk to him because they know him. So I don't think that Jeff's form of protest is going to work for everybody. So, yeah, Pamela, you're wrapping up my argument. We're wrapping up the argument. There are multiple ways to protest. We each have our own style. People are all different, and so the way they can be reached is different. You're absolutely right, Pamela. OSA, Open Source Advocate, says people will always complain about random shit. Yeah, it's like if you're not doing it my way, you're not doing it right, right? They should keep their stupidity to themselves and stop trying to gatekeep First Amendment rights. Fucking clowns, show you do what you do, Carrie. Yeah, I'm not concerned about me. I'm concerned about other people out there who are seeing people say this way isn't right or that way isn't right. The only way that's right is the way I'm doing it. Well, Chris Shelton has 13,000 subscribers. He's protesting his ass off 2 or 3 times a day. What's different about that than going down to the org a couple of times a day? Jeff is great. His style of protesting wouldn't work for me. He's more confrontational than I'm comfortable with. But everybody knows that who watches me, that I'm not confrontational, that I tend to be more polite. That doesn't mean Jeff's way of protesting is wrong. That doesn't mean Rika's way of protesting wrong. It doesn't mean anybody else's way of protesting is wrong. I think what Ren says is what's really important here. The diversity of the styles of the protesters is where the strike lies. I think having multiple people doing multiple things, which is what I think Aaron is trying to accomplish. Everybody's going to be pulled in and motivated to do really good things. And everybody's going to do it in their own way. I mean, for fuck's sake, Fluffer Squirrel's way to protest is by helping moderate streams and by making a list of all the streamers out there. That's hugely useful. And it's a way to protest. It's a way to participate. It's a way to work towards the end purposes of the group. That's protesting. It counts. And so that's what I want to say is watching these videos counts as protesting. It makes a difference. The watch hours make a difference. If you guys think that somebody's searching Scientology, if Scientology isn't busy trying to get to the top of all the search results out there, when somebody types in Scientology, it's really important to them that they're at the top of the search. And if there is a bunch of Scientology content that is not coming up, or that if there's a bunch of other Scientology content that comes up before Scientology, that's what we want, right? We want to be first. We want to be first. Love Maddie. Yeah, I don't listen to Chris very often anyhow either, but since I'd talked about protesting in general and why we're protesting, I thought I might want to address this question specifically about is there a right way to protest? Because I think is there a right way to say no? Everybody's saying it in different ways. Gail does protest through art. Her protest is making her string board. Her protest is a list of names. Now, that list of names was a protest even before she took the list of names down to the blue building and walked it around the blue building. That was a protest, just making the list of names, just that act. So, yes, there is a right way to protest, and the right way is by saying no in the way that you think is best. Lisa, Jeff was nice in Portland too, but he was still asking hard questions. Exactly. He's really good at asking really hard questions. And Ran, Chris Shelton knows diddly squat about getting out there on the streets at the orgs. I don't know that I can see him out on the streets at the orgs. He doesn't understand what's going on. Rika, and you are the loudmouth, but you know what? We need the loudmouths. All are needed, just like Maddie says. All are needed. Ren Listen says Chris Shelton needs to put up or shut up. Yes, he does. He's putting up a lot of videos. Some of his videos aren't getting many more views than my videos do. which really shocked me. Some of his videos are not getting many more views than my videos do. If that's not saying something, that's not saying something. Lisa, I love all the different styles of protesting. Isn't it nice to just go through the streams and look at the different ways people come up with to say, no, this is not okay? And Pamela, yes, my way is to watch and like the videos and send encouraging messages. Absolutely. Everybody has to do something. Sorry, my mouth is dry. Medications make my mouth dry. Today, I'm protesting by doing a live stream about protesting. I could have gone down to the building today, but I don't want to go down to the building today. So I'm choosing another way to protest by talking about everybody has their own way of protesting, and you need to find yours, and you get to be okay with it. Solidarity, open source advocate, solidarity is the only way of ending this cult. No more stupid nonsense and drama. Gatekeeping is a Scientology trap tactic. IMI. The same goes for crazy protesters just being rude, mean, and nasty. People will dismiss protesters just like they do some of them First Amendment auditors. I think that no matter what we do out there, we're going to get dismissed. I think if I sit there without a sign, just with my camera, I'm dismissed because I'm not being loud enough. I'm not comfortable with other people's ways of protesting, and I shouldn't be. It's like putting on somebody else's shoe. You don't put on other people's shoes. You shouldn't put on other people's styles of protesting. You need to go out there and be yourself, because the best way of protesting is to be authentic and real about who you are and what you believe in. That is the communication that shatters suppression, is authenticity. Authenticity shatters the suppression. Authenticity is the way to communication. Kate, thank you for giving the protesters an encouraging word. We are all like snowflakes. Each version is slightly different. Exactly. Like I said, you wouldn't put on somebody else's shoes. So don't think, boy, you guys, I've gotten behind. Don't think that your way is wrong. It's really important to know that. I mean, we had Amy come out and join us. We had Amy come out and join us after she finished work on Saturday. She came out to join us and grabbed a sign, and she just stood there. She grabbed a sign and stood there. It was her first time. She did an amazing job, and she's now figuring out what is her way to protest. What questions does she want to ask? Ren listens say, let them see the truth before they see the Kool-Aid version that Sciento wants them to see. Exactly. We have kept people from walking in the building more than once. More than once. Dan Walks LA, it's so good to see you. Everyone does have a different approach, and each approach yields different results and reactions, all necessary to make progress. Yeah, the person who's going to connect in one area isn't going to connect in another. And the person that's going to connect with one, the protest that's going to connect with one person isn't going to connect with another. And even so, protesting has different goals. I know that Serge is very loud about getting the children out is the only goal. And I agree that it is a goal, but it is not, in my opinion, the only goal. I think that just like protesting, people can have their own goals. Sweet Lily Love, diversity is what makes it strong. We aren't in a cult after all. Exactly. We don't have to all do it the same way because we are free to choose our own path. I did hear about my Tony. It brought me to tears. I feel really terrible about Natalie talk now. I popped in and Natalie was talking about having to sell the truck and the camper. And I grew up in Minnesota. I grew up in the Twin Cities. I know camping is so important there. And having to sell her camper and truck is just incredibly sad. And I just, I can't imagine. My dad died of cancer, so I'm familiar with how terrifying this must be for her. And I feel, I feel deeply for her fear and where she is right now. That's what I can say about that. Amy, Amy, who joined us this weekend, Amy says, I love the difference between all the protesters at the Portland org. Yeah, isn't it nice? We've all got our different way. We all fit in. We've got the art, we've got the loud ones, we've got the quiet ones, we've got all different styles. Ren listens. Thank you. Authenticity is key. I think that is why it's so important. The right way to protest is with authenticity. You need to be authentic to yourself. You need to be authentic in your communication. You need to be authentic about your goals. You need to know what your goals are, and you need to be out there authentically doing it. Authenticity is key to reaching these people. It makes a difference. That is where we see it. And it doesn't matter. You can be angry and authentic. You can be direct and authentic. You can be loud and authentic. You can swear and scream at people authentically. So it's just, I think it's the most important thing. I've gone on and beaten that horse like I do, beating dead horses. Pamela, watch Davy mismanage interview Angry Gay Pope. Angry Gay Pope said the current protesters are making a real difference because it is organic and relentless, and the Church of Scientology doesn't know how to handle it. Angry Gay Pope is not generally my cup of tea, but I think in this case he's absolutely right. It's organic and relentless, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And so the church doesn't know how to handle it, doesn't know how to handle it. Love Maddie says, at first I was put off by the assertive protesting. I processed that and kept watching a variety of different styles and understand that they are all needed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I everybody's going to do it different because everybody is different. That's just the way it is. I think I've been I have been guilty in the past of thinking that protesting this way or that way or the other way isn't right. And I still believe that I may be misrepresenting Serge, and I think that there's probably more to it than that. I just know that that is his priority. My priority is children, and it's also getting rid of the tax exempt status, and it's also just being down there showing Scientology day after day after day that people object. And I know that some people will say that objecting in this manner just shuts people down more. And in some cases, I think that's right. But I know that people have left because they were going to be sent to the RPF. People have left because they were going to be sent to the RPF. That has made them leave. So if going to the RPF has made people leave, then I think a bunch of screaming protesters might not be the heat that is necessary to make people leave, right? If that is what it takes, getting sent to the RPF to make some people leave, then what? He's going to insist on being petted. If going to the RPF is what's necessary to make some people leave, then it takes a lot of heat to get people to decide they want to leave. And yeah, none of us are doing that amount of heat. Declared Dave loves suppressive Sherry. I really love that tag, although I can't say it very well right now. Ex-Scientologists were taught to believe that all people are essentially the same and can be handled the same. Yeah, this is very true. This is a great point.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri says she didn't get it. Can we try again? So let me say it again. Ex-Scientologists were taught to believe that all people are essentially the same and can be handled the same. That is not the case with us protesters, and they can't handle us in a singular fashion. Right, and they keep trying the same stuff over and over again. They tried speaker tech on us this weekend in Portland, and it didn't work. So they don't know what to do. Which video, commenter? Which video proves the child trafficking? I'm happy to spread it, but I need to know which commenter. Pamela, we need to have a multi-pronged approach. Approaching from multiple sides makes Church of Scientology scramble to fight with diminishing resources. Yes, that is the other reason it's important. There are people in the up high up there, Mike Render, Leah Remini. There are people up high doing things like suing and being in thank you, commenter. This video, I don't know that I've watched that in full yet. I will go watch it. Love Maddie. It was amazing that Jeff saw pretty much only the people he knew 12 years when he left the Church of Scientology go into the birthday event. No growth, and I think they counted only 46 people going in. Wow. Wow, only 46 people. That's amazing. I know more people went in. I'm almost positive. Lisa, you let me know. I'm almost positive. Amy, maybe you weren't there early. Lisa, I think we saw 150 people go in. That is my guess. That is my guess. That there were 150 people that went into Portland, Oregon on Saturday. But the next time we're there for an event, we need to have a little counter and count the people. Somebody needs to count the people. Susan, I think the more the protesters have learned, they're having more compassion for the Scientologists. I see the style of protest shifting as protesters consider what's most effective. But I think that we still need to not police the protesters. I think people need to come to realize what's most effective through experience. And we can't police what people say. Fast forward to 43 minutes in. I will do that. That's perfect, commenter. I got it. 43 minutes in. We got it. 43 minutes in on that presentation. Declared Dave loves suppressive Sherry. I believe Mark Rinder was a part of that video where the child auditor was shown on stage. If he wasn't in the video, he was at least in international management when that video event was filmed. I am not of the group that wants to bring Mike Rinder down. I think that Mike Rinder needs to talk and explain and deal with victims better than he's dealing with them. I think he did a lot of awful things while he was in Scientology. I think a lot of people did a lot of awful things when they were in Scientology. I think the things that he's doing now out of Scientology are not helpful in the long run, and I wish he would stop. He's being hurtful, and he's being hurtful to specific people. He's being hurtful to the group, and he needs to change that. And that is my opinion on that. Yes, he was a part of it. Absolutely, he was a part of it. And yes, please hit the like button everywhere. Lisa says, I was going to say 100, but I'm a bad judge on numbers. I'm a bad judge on numbers too. So if we're both saying about 100, then yeah, it was 100 to 150 people. Although maybe it didn't feel like that many people came out. We did a bad job of commenting. We did a bad job of keeping track of who was going in and coming out. So I think the right way to protest, I think protesting is ineffective if you're not getting a response. So what does that mean? If we had just started protesting outside the Scientology buildings and they'd invited us in to look down, Pamela, I agree. Mike Rinder is doing stuff to bring himself down. I'm just sitting back and watching him do it to himself. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's sad and unpleasant to watch, and it's hurtful to a lot of people while he does it. So I don't like it very much. But I'm going to comment when he does something I think is wrong. But otherwise, I think the Aftermath Foundation has done a lot of good. I think Mike Rinder has done, in his way, a lot of good. But since he turned on Aaron the way he did so publicly, and the things he said since then are just, some people are the doers and some people watch the doers. Some people are watchers and some people are doers. I started out as a watcher, you guys. I was just watching. I was just watching YouTube. I wasn't doing anything. And then I ran across ex-Scientology content. And some of it was Chris Shelton. And some of it was Mike Rinder. And some of it was Aaron. And I started watching it. And I started getting more and more involved. But that is what started it, was watching. And so Mike saying there are watchers and there are doers. You guys, sometimes you got to watch something before you can do it. Sometimes you need to hear something before you can say it. Yeah, and now you're getting involved. And now you're getting involved. I have watched Mike since he turned on Aaron, but I've watched him because I come in here and I comment about what he has to say. St. Louis Scientology Squirrel, it's nice to have you here. You were a watcher and then you became a doer. Exactly. Some people are going to become doers, but we can't have everybody out here demonstrating. And we can't have everybody out there doing lawsuits. And we can't have everybody out there doing expert testimony in Scientology trials. And so, and we can't even have everybody out there protesting, although it would be nice. It would be nice. Declared Dave loves suppressive Sherry. I've been a watcher since Tom Cruise was jumping around on Oprah's couch, but now I'm active. It just takes the right nudge, and you and all the other squirrels gave me the courage to begin protesting. Oh my goodness. DDSS. That is really the way it felt for me. It just took the right nudge, and all the other squirrels gave me courage to begin protesting. Yeah, I was thinking today about my first protest. I went down, pardon me, I went downtown and I didn't have enough subscribers to even do a live stream. So I went downtown and I just videotaped. And then I uploaded it to YouTube. That was my first time. It was pretty scary, but I did a great job. Scientology is their own worst enemy. Indeed, they are. There is an old saying, a dog never poops in its own bed. Scientology is starting to poop in their own bed. Yeah, they are kind of starting to do that. I think Mike Rinder was trying to control the ex-Scientology narrative, but Aaron and Marianne, Aaron and many of the other SPs are wild cards who are getting it out there anyway. Hey, Bali Songs. Thank you, Pamela. If you guys want to take off, I totally understand. Aaron and many of the other SPs are wild cards who are getting it out there anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Mike Rinder can't control my narrative. He can't control all of the narratives of all the never ends, all the First Amendment auditors who are out there demonstrating. He can't control all those people. It's become its own thing. And Aaron in part helped create it, but so did Mike. What did they want to happen? They wanted to do public outreach. They wanted to get public eyes on what was going on. They wanted people to hear. They wanted support. Now they've got it, including Mike and Mark and Claire, because we're protesting for them as much as any other ex-Scientologist or current Scientologist. It's okay, Pamela. He can go live. He goes live all the time. I will catch it. Listening, time to fold your laundry. That sounds great, commenter. Time to fold laundry. No one close to Mike Rinder is telling him what he's been doing as of the dumping on Aaron. No one close to Mike Rinder is telling him that the dumping that Mike Rinder's been doing on Aaron is wrong. Sadly, he's got enablers around him, but I won't ever say he hasn't been fighting to expose and bring down the church. Exactly. And everybody has been saying that. Everybody has been commenting on what he has done. And I will even give Chris Shelton credit. Chris Shelton does a ton of videos. He's done a ton of videos. It's his form of protest. It's a valid form of protest. He's getting information out. People come and see his videos. They watch them. They learn about Scientology. They get to decide whether there's a right way or a wrong way to protest. They get to decide how and if they want to get involved. Any action against Scientology is protest. So, watching videos against Scientology is protest. I just want to make that really clear, you guys. Doers and watchers is a really shitty way of breaking people up and dividing people and making them feel ineffective. And as somebody smarter than me said, probably about 15 minutes ago, the only way to solve this is solidarity. We need to have each other's backs and continue to have each other's backs as opposed to the church, because I'll tell you whose back the church has. The church has their own back, and they are not going to divert from their stated aims. They're going to keep focusing on them. They are able to do that very well. They have got a machine that focuses on their goal and moves toward it very well. That's what Scientology tech does. It incapacitates people to be able to think freely for themselves. I shouldn't have taken a drink there. The ADHD is strong today. I have classes starting today. Bali songs, you're back. All the demonstrators are amazing. All of us watchers are amazing. Everything, be it action or support, that brings down this cult is all work. You do a nice sum up, Bali songs. I agree with you completely. Love Maddie, I started watching Chris Shelton when I first started watching Aaron. Mandy McGee, meow, 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 meow. My cat is now wondering what that noise is. I wish you guys could see him. He just stopped mid-lick and now he's looking desperately for the meow. Meow. There, I did it again. Meow. Maybe he'll come over here. Sorry. Distracted by the pets. This is, distraction on videotape. This is distraction live. That's what you get to see when you come watch Carrie Ann. Everything, be it action or support, that brings down this cult is all work. The super chats are protest. The chats are protest. The comments are protest. Watching without commenting is protest. Absolutely. But I think that I'm looking at protest. I'm looking at protest much more widely than just people who go out actively and protest. Because I'm really frustrated with this idea that there's doers and there's watchers. We can't do without the watchers. And I think that part of the reason that so many people in this stream have said they started watching and watching inspired them to move is because one of the ways to know how to be safe is to watch what other people are doing. Watch what other people are doing. Watch what's happening at other protests. Watch how other people get handled. Watch how, love Maddie. Meow, meow, meow. I got the cat and dog listening. Maybe I got your cat and dog some more. Watching, that's why watching is important, because that's a way people learn. People can learn more than what they're just watching. They can learn from watching how to behave. They can learn from watching who to be aware of. They can learn from watching what is allowed and what isn't allowed. They can learn from watching what's legal and not legal, in part, not in full. But it's really important to know no cop is on the protesters' side usually, because they're not thrilled about it. They're not your friends. The cops have been okay so far in Portland. Don't know what had been said when they all showed up and we weren't there. Had we been there? I am not sure what have happened. I'm not sure what would have happened had we been there either. They were pretty quiet and calm. Hi, Maya. They were pretty quiet and calm when they rolled up, but they all rolled up really quick and got out of their cars really quick. There were a lot of them there really quick, all silently. So I don't even want to know what it would have been like had we still been there. It really scares me. The ACLU does have some really amazing tips for protesting, and I invite all of you to check out the ACLU page on that. Let me look. Sorry, disappeared with a minute. Now I'm back. Hold on. Just wanted to send you guys the link for. I'll get back to that, you guys. That's for the ACLU tips on protesting. Love Maddie. William Good is a wonderful person to learn from on how to deal with the police. Exactly. Do you know how many protest videos I watched before I went down to protest? So I felt like I had some clue of how I was going to deal with the police. Maya, it's so great to see you. Jeannie, you are protesting with me. You're protesting with me right now. You're protesting by being there with me in spirit. And I really, really, really appreciate it. It, I wouldn't go down, you know, it sounds silly. I wouldn't be going down there regularly if I didn't have you guys with me and behind me. It makes it feel like I'm going down there with a group of protesters, with not just me. It's really important. I did it the first time just on video and I uploaded it. But since I've been live streaming, I wouldn't do protesting without live streaming it. It terrifies me. So without the viewers, we've got nothing. Yeah, I've been wondering a lot about that, Love Maddie, what it would have been like. Oh, Mandy, it's okay. I grabbed it. Spreading the word is virtual protesting. Yes, everything is protesting. Every action taken against the cult, Fluff or Squirrel is protesting by keeping the list of all the streamers in the world who are protesting against Scientology active. That is how Fluffer Squirrel protests. And by moderating streams. Mandy protests by moderating streams. Mandy goes out too, but they protest by moderating streams too. There's not just one way to protest, you guys. No viewers, no channels. Exactly. Exactly. So that's the end of the comments, guys. I've got a big day today. I start my classes. It's been so nice having the week off. It's been so nice. I'm almost dreading going back to school. But I'm also kind of excited. Sociolinguistics should be, I hope, a fun class. I hope. There's a lot to learn. It looks like it's going to be fast paced. 10 weeks is not very long. The YouTube protests are a huge difference from previous protesting. You think so, Maya? Do you think it makes a big difference? Thank you, Maddie. I hope to have good luck with school. I did okay last quarter, so and I did okay the quarter before that and the quarter before that. So the trend is promising. But I'm always certain, anxiety. I'm always certain that the next class is the one I'm going to get an F in. For sure. The next class is the one I'm going to get an F in. Jeannie, spreading the word, commenting, contacting VIPs. Yeah, that's another great way to protest. Contact your elected representatives, city, state, and national. And there is a link to a page that you can do that at, I believe. There is a page that you can do that at. Here you go, guys. Here's the link. Here, I got to do all of the things. This link will take you right where you need to go to find all of your elected officials. Of course, without YouTube, if one is out there, you reach the people that see you. With one person, with YouTube, one person can reach thousands of people, the whole world. Exactly. Even people on the other side of the planet can come in and watch the stream and be there and support and increase knowledge about what's going on. It just makes a huge difference. Doers and supporters. I have seen a lot of great work and great ideas come from supporters. So have I. Supporters are so important. You guys, every way of protesting, making jewelry, making merch. These are ways of protesting. Wearing merch is a way of protesting. All of these are effective way to make merch. Link my video to Scientology. That way it comes up when anyone searches Scientology. How do you mean link my videos to Scientology? Usually when I'm protesting, I say Scientology in the title, so it does come up when people search Scientology. Maybe I should change the title of this is there a right way to protest Scientology, eh? I will change the title after the end of the stream. No, I can change it right now. Can't I? Can't I change it right now? I can. Look at this. Hold on. No, maybe I can. Put Scientology in my titles when they are uploading your video. But I don't upload my videos. My videos are all live, commenter. I don't upload videos anymore because I am not the editor person. Scientology is a scam. I need to create a list of hashtags that I can just have in my comments. I'm not up on all the how to do YouTube yet. I'm still new at the YouTubes. But I really love all of you coming in here and watching me learn. Because after watching, then you try. So you try it out. You try it on. You see if it fits. You're buying a new pair of shoes. You got to try a bunch of different pairs to find the ones that work and fit for you. And then, you gotta break them in, and you gotta figure out the ins and outs of it. Buying a new phone is the same way. You gotta figure out which phone do you want, which phone case do you want, which operating system do you want. Put David Miscavige in my titles. They'd be really long titles. Is there a right way to protest Scientology and David Miscavige? Oh my God, Bali songs, the cops. Did you see the cops, the last cops? Put David Miscavige in my titles. I may put David Miscavige in Son of a... That's a really great idea. David Miscavige hits people in my titles. That's funny. Bali songs, did you see the cops show up at the end? The gilding the lily we got at the end of that protest after everybody had left? Lisa's signs were awesome. Rika's chalk tech was brilliant. Lisa did so much work on the chalk tech. Lisa even went across the street and wrote, "It's a cult," across the street. It's probably still there because they can't come across the street and wash the signs. So Lisa even went across the street. Pretty amazing. It was an amazing day, and I'm so glad that we got down there early enough to catch all the people going in, because originally we weren't going to get there till 4:30. Maybe they are watching our streams because everybody was showing up before 4:30. Before 4:30. My mind's eye, I see little David using a ladder to reach his phone, and he is the one swatting everyone. That sounds about right, using a ladder to reach his phone. I saw you on your way back because there was a fire call, but then they attended the first time and said not, and walked past and said not. Yeah, but the cops all showed up. Like 3 cop cars showed up. It was freaky as hell. I was scared down there, y'all. I thought you were folding your laundry, commenter. Yesterday, little Davy trashed his Easter basket and hit the Easter bunny. I have to tell you a story, guys. Years and years ago, this is just a random story that came into my head because of the Easter bunny. Years and years ago, I worked at a hotel, and I was the one who was supposed to dress up for the Easter bunny that year. And they were having two events. The hotel was having an Easter egg hunt, just the hotel, and there was another event having an Easter egg hunt right next door. And so I mistakenly gave the hotel Easter egg hunt people, I mistakenly gave them permission to do the Easter egg hunt in the wrong area. I was in so much trouble. It was the worst. This story comes out much lamer than it is in my head. I'm really glad I told it because it had a lot of buttons attached to it right there. But it really doesn't seem like such a big deal when I say it. I mean, it was a big deal at the time. I felt really, really, really bad. It was terrible. I was in so much trouble. I was in so much trouble. It was, of course, the hotel had contracted with somebody to cater the event and have this fancy Easter egg hunt at the hotel, but they planned it at the same time as this other Easter egg hunt. And I don't remember if I should have known or not. I think it was their mistake that they didn't tell me. But oh my goodness, it was horrendous. It was so terrifying. But that's the time I dressed up as the Easter bunny. The one and only time I dressed up as the Easter bunny. Over the top cop attendance ridiculous. It was 3 cop cars at least, so it was like 6 cops. They rolled up silent, Lisa. They rolled up silent, but they rolled up fast all at the same time. It was I was waiting for the sirens and there weren't any. So, yeah, if they were responding actually to a pew pew, then it makes sense, but I don't know. The whole thing is just crazy. I don't understand. I don't know how to make sense of it. I don't know that it's ever going to make sense. We're never going to get the whole story. It's just going to be weird as fuck. So, let me sum up. The way you're protesting, that's the right way to protest. The way you're doing it, that is the right way. And we want you to continue to protest. And if you feel like you want to branch out and try something different, that's okay. There's room to do that. You can go down to a protest and show up and just sit in a chair. You can stand in the background. You can not have a sign. You can be off to the side. You can comment on a YouTube video. You can comment in the lives. You can watch a YouTube video. You can share YouTube videos. You can talk to your friends about what Scientology is about and get them watching the videos. There's so many ways to protest that I don't think there's a right way. I think there's just that right there. That's right to protest. That's the right way to protest. Don't trust Carrie Ann with the Easter eggs. Maya, I was so upset. Like, I can feel the feeling right now as I'm talking to you guys. I was mortified that I had messed up so badly. David Miscavige is 4 feet tall. There you go. I'll put it in the comments. Nope, I can't do that. Yes, I can. Look at this. Okay, it's in the comments. Don't trust me with the Easter eggs. That's for right. Bali songs. Was there really? There was a guy at PTS for Life's protest who came to Vancouver and just sat on the pavement in the background just to support Jeff and the lads. Exactly. Exactly. There have been people who have sent DoorDash or Grubhub to protesters. Somebody sent an Uber to pick Tori up yesterday. You think that's not a way to protest? That's an excellent way to protest. Sending an Uber for Tori? That's high protest art right there. Tori's a national treasure. And to send an Uber for her just makes her life easier. And it allows her to do more of her good work. Every little bit helps, y'all. And it's so important. Especially with this constant stream of people saying there is a right way. My way is the right way. My way is the right way. There isn't a right way. That's right, commenter. Everyone spread the word. By next week, little Davy will be at the shoe store looking for size 4 high heels. Yep. Doesn't he already wear the size 4 high heels? I thought he already wore those to get to that 411. Or is he 413? So, okay, guys. Any last comments or thoughts? We say the more likes and subs baby Davy will be 4.2 feet, then he will order Scientologists to like and sub. Exactly. Exactly. You guys are the best. I can't tell you how nice it is having everybody show up. Baby Pope, that would be great. Keep doing what I'm doing. I will keep doing what I'm doing. If you guys keep doing what you're doing, we will make it a date to keep doing the things we're doing. In any way we can. Get creative. Now I'm commenter. Now you've got me intrigued, and I'm gonna have to go watch the Angry Gay Pope because maybe I can have a puppet Angry Gay Pope as an alter ego. That would be kind of hilarious since Angry Gay Pope is so different from me. I will have to go watch some Angry Gay Pope and try it on for size. Little tiny baby Pope. I love it. I love it. You love him? I will watch some. I will watch some on your recommendation. You guys know, I sit out there and I be quiet and just say, have a nice day and ask nice questions. But I will watch some of the Angry Gay Pope and maybe get myself a puppet Angry Gay Pope. I'm trying to think of where I can find. Well, I'll figure it out. Some felt. I can go to the felt store. I didn't know. Did you guys know that people, I mean, I knew that people had sensitivities to chalk but I didn't know that some people couldn't even touch it. I didn't know that, and I really didn't know. Lisa, you like him too? Okay, you guys, I'll go watch him. I really didn't know that people had the same reaction to felt, that they can't touch felt. So interesting. Puff Dragon, OT 420. Let me see if I can indulge you. Where is it? It's in my shirt. In the safe place. OT 420. There it is. I think, Susan, if I'm nice, if you're nice, I think if you're nice like you are, maybe the Scientologists won't think we're all bad. I think they're certain we're all bad. I think we're certain we're all bad. I think they are. I watch how they interact even with me, and I don't think it makes a difference. I haven't seen that it makes a difference for how people respond. I think they blow me off just as easily as they blow others off, from what I can tell. I like that. You know how famous you would be if you got a video of one of little David's tantrums? Wouldn't that be amazing? I heard the guys commenting last night that sometimes they see a limo pull by, and they were wondering if maybe it was David's limo on occasion that comes by. It doesn't come by with any regularity, they said, but they were commenting about this limo they see around all the time. Well, not all the time. Randomly, unusually, but it's the same one. Him running amok, throwing his own tiny shoes. Indeed, throwing his little bitty baby shoes at people. But you know what? He wouldn't throw his shoes, commenter, because he can't possibly take them off because they've got heels in them. You would agree? Which one would you agree with, Lisa? They ignore us. They know, yeah, they ignore us just as much. Yeah, I think that's what you're agreeing with us. Neither of us yell, we just ask questions, and they ignore us in the same at the same rate. I think I might get more response sometimes. The questions might get more response, but that's because they're questions and they're posed as questions. I think that's the only reason they get more response. I mean, I think sometimes I get more response to it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Because there's some things you say to people and they just can't not comment to, but I don't I don't think it makes a difference on how people see us. I think they think we're all bad. Shelley was the only one who could take his shoes off and he murdered her. Allegedly. 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 You think he allegedly murdered Shelley because he found her toy in her nightstand drawer? That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. You wonder if they hear me, Susan? Well, they couldn't hear me Saturday, but they couldn't hear anybody Saturday. So when there's yelling going on, they can't hear my quiet voice as much. Um, but yeah, that if it sinks in is the thing. I don't think anything sinks in. I don't think anything sinks in. I think it's planting seeds on parched earth and hoping against hope that somewhere there will be a crack and then there will be a little bit of water somehow and that seed will germinate. So that is what I'm hoping for. I'm planting seeds on parched earth. Yeah, we couldn't hear it. We couldn't hear ourselves think. That's true, Lisa. That music, I don't know what it was about that music in particular, but it it really did make it hard to think. It really did make it hard to think. It is sad, isn't it? It's parched earth. And hopefully, what I say germinates to some extent, but they're trained not to respond. I can see that commenter. And you know what? That's a form of protest. And it's a great form of protest. It's it's excellent. And I usually I mostly generally like watching people do that. But I'm not a troll that way. I can't do it. It's not authentic of me to do it that way. Right? So I don't even try because I would be a bad troll. I would be a terrible, awful. I would be terrible and awful at being a troll. So I don't do it because it's not authentic. It's not who I am. And I'm cool with that. I want everybody else to stop telling people that they need to not be cool with the way they're doing it. You love the diversity in streaming styles. If everyone protested the same way, I would get bored. Variety is the spice of life. That's really interesting feedback, Wolf Machine. I think this streaming protesting in general is a really interesting phenomenon. And it's mind-boggling to me that people watch other people demonstrate. I mean, it was mind-boggling to me years ago that people would want to watch a daily vlog. Like, why would you even watch a daily vlog of somebody else's life? So it's still kind of mind-boggling to me that I can sit down with some random subject that I want to talk about and come on here and talk to you guys about the random subject I want to talk about. That's wild. And that people can go out and spread awareness by sharing their protests on YouTube is just the most powerful thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's an incredibly powerful tool. And as we learn how to aim it, it will get more and more powerful. It's like having an army of minions who self organize and who self organize, who see the gaps and fill them in. And it just is happening organically. I mean, it almost moved me to tears when I was watching DOA interview MD Media. And DOA gave MD Media a bunch of signs, which is great. But the other thing that he gave MD Media, he said the sign maker's mom, I think it was mom, the sign maker's mom handcrafts bags just to fit the signs. You guys, how amazing is that for a group that has materialized almost out of thin air to have self-organized to such an extent that we have people sewing bags for the protesters. Somebody's mom, one of the protesters' moms. We've got whole families involved in this. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because Jessica Palmadessa's mom is one of her moderators. Wolf Machine, it feels powerful on both sides of the screen. Yeah, it does. It's really interesting for me being in the position of both doer and watcher, because the feeling of doing it, the feeling of doing the protesting and live streaming is different from the feeling of just live streaming, which is different from the position of viewing. They're all really different positions to be in, but I think that the interface of all three of those, I think I think there's power to be found in the perspectives of the viewers and live streamers. And I wonder, are there any other live streamers who regularly, are there any other protesters who are regularly live streaming like I am? Are there any others who are a commenter? You have a great day too. I hope the laundry got done. It was lovely to have you here. Are there any other streamers out there who protest and just do live streams? Well, there's Aaron is doing both, of course, and Poe is doing both. Layla does both. I think it's a really interesting perspective. And are there a lot of live streamers who also have time to watch a lot of things? Susan, I just thought this is an interesting thought. Lori plays and Farrell Cheryl. Okay, so there's a lot of us. It's really interesting seeing both sides and all the different sides of that thing there that I was talking about, the perspective of a protester versus a watcher. Yep, you guys are right. I was thinking about it too in a backwards way. There are a lot of folks that do both and have done both, and more by the day because Reese is going out more and protesting. I think it's important to some extent. I think there's something to be learned when you do both sides. I think you gain something, but I want to be careful not to say that it's important that you do both, because it's not important that you do both. It's just yet another perspective, I guess. Susan says, I just thought a protester yelling at them is no different than how second gens talk about how they are yelled at by other Scientologists. I have the same thoughts, Susan. I do. And so I don't do it that way. Honestly, that's part of the reason that I don't do it that way. And people have said that they left because they were going to go on the RPF. Nothing was enough force to get them to leave. So the RPF was the only thing that was enough force to get them to leave. So I generally am unconcerned about what damage there might be done by yelling at people who are so immune to being yelled at. It occurs to me that that may be the only way to get through the cracks. So if we're talking back to the parched earth methodology or metaphor I was using, back to that metaphor, if we're scattering seeds on parched earth, begging for them to germinate, then the protesters are taking the seeds and trying to force them down. The protesters who yell are the protesters who are taking those seeds and forcing them with force down into the crevices. And the protesters who are not yelling are just scattering the seeds across the surface. Is one way more prone to getting more seeds to germinate in a parched earth situation? I'm not sure. It's difficult to germinate any seeds in the situation we're in. So while I can understand that concern, and I share that concern, and that's part of the reason that would be where my mind would go, and so that's what I don't do. But that doesn't mean my reasoning is any better than somebody else's reasoning, that why they need to yell is because that is the force necessary to get through to a Scientologist. And to be fair, I don't disagree with that idea either. The force necessary to get through to a Scientologist is significant. I cannot maintain that level of force over time. And so I don't. Why leave the cult or look elsewhere if the same is outside, the same way inside? Well, that is why there needs to be a diversity of protesters. Because then what they see is not everybody is the same. That some people are quiet and some people are loud, and some people have signs saying we love you, and some people have signs saying the cult sucks. What they're going to see is the diversity of the protest. And I agree, they're not going to see that consciously. That's not something that's going to be something that comes through to them consciously, like, oh, look at the diversity of ways of protesting. They're just probably going to do what folks like Chris Shelton are doing, which is pick out the things that they object to and use that as a reason to dismiss the message. They will, again, pick out the things that they object to and use that as a way to discredit the message. That's what Mike Rinder's doing. That's what Chris Shelton is doing. That's what Scientologists are trained to do. And it is almost impossible to cultivate a message that will get through that everybody, every Scientologist finds not objectionable. I know I've seen you commenting on that a couple of times. Change the word cult and use the word scam. I kind of like that idea. It's a scam. It's a scam rather than it's a cult. They're immune. They're nerd immunized against that word. And scam instead of cult might be better wording. Sorry, my lip is bugging me. I like the idea of scam instead of cult. I like that a lot. I could get behind that IMI. But again, wording also has to be part of how people decide to do things. There might be important reasons why people want to say the words cult. Bali songs. I think environment also plays into the energy of a protest. Portland, Toronto, Austin folk seem quite calm and accept the protests, whereas LA has a very diverse landscape of residents who instigate. I think you're right. I think you're right. There is different energy in each city, and each org responds differently. Oh, you guys are coming over from MLH chat. That's so sweet of you. Oh my goodness. Hey Jen, wow. So yeah, back to Bali songs. Hey everybody, coming over from MLH. It is so good to see you. Hi. We're talking about if there's a right way to protest. Very diverse landscape of residents. Each city has a different tone. And yeah, I completely agree with that. Lisa, yeah, what do you think? I was thinking about all the signs. I I hate to get rid of the signs that have got the word cult, but I like it's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. I think it sounds more powerful somehow. Hey Lori. Hey Denver Scientology. I see you guys. Look at all you guys. Jen Wow, Casey Cat, Lori, Denver Scientology Audit. Welcome. My goodness, y'all. Keeper of the list. I can't believe you're a month. Oh, you are a monster from MLH. That's right. Thank you. Hey, Sally, how are you? Matthew the King, nice to see you. Keeper of the list. Tell MLH I say hi back, please. Hi, Ellie, how are you? My goodness, y'all. Keeper of the list. Thank you. Jamie Todd, that's a great way to do it. But you know what? It wouldn't be authentic coming from me, which is what we've been talking about. It wouldn't be authentic coming from me. And furthermore, I can't project that kind of power to do it for that long. So I don't. We've been talking about Scientologists being like parched earth where ideas can't bloom. And what we're trying to do is throw these seeds onto parched earth in the hopes that they will take root and sprout, in the hopes that these seeds will germinate. And one style of doing that is to drive those seeds deep into the ground with force, hard and loudly. And that's a great way to do it. But I can't do it that way. And so I take a different approach. I use my effort to spread my seed quietly and to just scatter it across the ground in hopes that it will find a crevice to fall into. It's just a really different way of doing it. And both, if the rain comes, will hopefully result in germination. In germination. MLH Raiders, it's great to see you. I hope that answered your question. Jules Fire Rocks, it's hey, it's so nice to see you. It's so nice for the raid. I really appreciate all you guys. Thanks for coming in, and I appreciate MLH. Undoctrinated, you hit the like button. Jen Wow, smash that like button, y'all. Casey Cat, does that mean you're from Kansas City, Casey Cat? Is there snow? There's snow on April 1st? Or Denver has snow? Oh my goodness gracious, you guys. I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Antics of a Mama Squirrel, welcome. Welcome. Hi, Pup Groomer. How are you? I do have a room full now. I was almost getting ready to pop off, you guys. I was almost about ready to pop off. You were just kidding? It's okay. Gave me a moment to opine. Oh, Bali Songs, you're so sweet. Mexican long hair, it's great to have you in here. It's great to have you in here. You get more love with kindness? I don't know. I kind of think it's parched earth. They're not going to listen to anything anybody says. So all we're trying to do is find the cracks, and those crevices and those tiny little cracks are different for everybody. And and so I think that the 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 Scientologists see the diversity of ways of protesting, and they see people screaming at them, but they also see signs that say we love you, and they also have people asking them kind questions, and they also have people saying have a nice day, and they also have people saying we love you, and they also have people saying it's a scam. All of those different messages need to be heard across all of these different channels. It's not how loud your voice is, it's persistent and perseverance. I think that's true as well. I think that's true as well. It's continually doing the thing you're good at, and do the thing that works for you authentically, because that is how it becomes what's the word I want? Whatever protest you're doing, it has to be able to persevere. And in order to do that, you have to be doing it authentically, because you can't be mocked up about it all the time. You have to do what comes to you naturally in order to be persistent and persevere. Ellie would be a great mod, but Fluffer Squirrel is in this, all up in this business, and right now I don't know if I need more than one. You're a new sub, so I don't get your humor yet? Well, I hope I didn't not. I mean, I think for some I think for some Scientologists what you were saying might actually work, Jamie. I do have mods that are great. I do have great mods. Jules Fires Rocks, it's good to see you again. Quick and heavy. Wow. Snow on April 1st in Denver. How often does that happen, Denver Scientology audit? How often does that happen that you get snow on the 1st of April? Yes, you can keep me a couple more minutes. I've got a little bit more time. Tornadoes. Tornadoes do suck. I don't know if you meant that they suck all the things up into the air. It's all gone. It's amazing that what tornadoes can do. Terrifying. Terrifying. There's hope for a good life outside Scientology. There's help available. That's the message I choose to send over and over again. The Aftermath Foundation is here. The SPTV Foundation is here. We are all here to help if you want to get out. Hi, Antics of a Mama Squirrel. I think I already said hi to you. My goodness, you guys. Right. It needs to be genuine and true to you. Right. It has to be authentic. And Jules Fire Rocks. Yes, it's the unique style of everyone's protests that make this moment so good. Right. It's the authenticity. It's the authenticity and it's the uniqueness. And somebody asked earlier, what does a Scientologist see? If they only see the screaming, they don't think it's any different outside the cult than inside the cult. Sorry, guys, I close my eyes a lot when I'm trying to think, to try and remember things. It's what do they think? And I think that they or what do they see? And I think what they see is a diversity. I don't know that they see that consciously, but they see a diversity of um they see a diversity of protesting styles. And that's got to come across to them as different than what they've experienced in Scientology, because in Scientology there's only one way. There's only one right way, and we're all out there doing it differently. Ellie Fluffer is absolutely amazing. I'm keeping her forever and no one else can have them. Antics of a Mama Squirrel, do you want more subscribers? We could arrange that. Fluffer is a superstar. Amazing superstar. That would be a good question for MLH. You're not a native. Okay, let's see what MLH says. Love the fluff. We all love the fluff. Please leave the word foundation and that help number out of the protest. Well, I understand, but I think that the Aftermath Foundation has been proven to help so far. And just because I don't agree with the actions that they're taking doesn't necessarily mean that there's any financial impropriety going on, in my opinion. But again, everybody gets to protest in the way that they think is most important. The question is, do you often get snow on April 1st or around the beginning of April? Does it often come that late? I grew up in the Twin Cities, and so it's not uncommon to have snow up to May 1st. And yes, the question also is there a right way to protest? I think there is a right way to protest. The right way to protest is the way you're protesting. Protesters have lives too, so to devote their time to stand outside in the heat and the cold for hours is admirable. Yeah, it takes a lot to go out there. I was tired yesterday. I was not going anywhere. I was amazed that people were out both Saturday and Sunday because it takes a lot to be out there. April is either the second or third snowiest month. Wow. It always snows on April 1st in Denver. Everybody knows that. I didn't know that, but I know that now. So now everybody knows that. Sally Boyer, maybe speaking so they hear, not just that they are listening. Yeah, I think it's something like that, but we don't know which way that is. So um we have no idea which way that is. And so it's hard to know what they will listen to. And so the multiplicity of voices, it's what's important. Matthew, I got it. It was a joke. I got it. Fluffer, you're never late. We were just, your ears must have been burning because we were talking about you behind your back. But I couldn't get anybody to say one bad thing. Nobody had one bad thing to say about you. Everybody thought you're the best. And I agree. So you're not late. You're right on time. I'm glad you're here. Oh my goodness, Jules Fire Rocks, I think this is just be camera magic, because I feel like I had acne when I was a kid, and I feel like I've got acne scars and all kinds of stuff. But I really appreciate that. That's the sweetest thing ever. That's the sweetest thing ever. Yeah, yeah, you're the best. You're the best. 5 demerits for being late. We'll put it on the demerit board. Make that one of the rules, Fluffer. Nobody can be late. Fluffer's ears were ringing. It is the first. You've watched fireworks on the 4th of July while it snowed in the mountains of rural northeastern Nevada. Wow, pup groomer. Wow. I think you've got me beat, because it doesn't usually snow after May 1st in Minnesota. I've never experienced this. Style. Yes, you have a style of protesting, not drama based protesting. The ears ringing was more reliable than the notifications bell. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Jules Fire Rocks. Guys, I'm almost caught up. You're going to have to throw me more questions. How many subscribers am I at now with y'all in here? We'll do an impromptu 15-minute AMA. I asked Aaron earlier on his chat about uniforms. He thinks only difference is pins versus chevrons on the collar. Reese says Sea Org better put together. Aaron encouraged us to ask them if they are Sea Org or staff. Oh, so the staff and the Sea Org wear the same uniform now. That explains a lot, Jules Fire Rocks. That explains why I thought, maybe you were in the chat the other day. I remember you've been in a chat with me before. The other day when I thought somebody was a Sea Org member and we were discussing, that must have been you, whether or not they were Sea Org. And I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea to ask if they are Sea Org or staff. That is brilliant. So, okay, guys, I'm through all the chats. I need some questions, or I need something more to talk about, because you guys caught me at the end of my chat where I'd said mostly everything I wanted to say, which is not a bad thing. I'm not complaining. I'm glad you're all here. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? Oh, interesting. Only 3 to 4,000 fascinated about it because there were only 3 to 4,000 total Sea Org members worldwide. Wow. So would that be about a tenth of the population of Scientologists are Sea Org members? About a tenth of the membership of Scientology are Sea Org members. That seems like a high fraction. Antics of a Mama Squirrel. Such a great weekend for the protest. Weren't they amazing? I didn't even expect any streaming yesterday because of Easter, but I didn't realize that LA was having an Easter event. Maybe Portland was having an Easter event too, you guys, and we just missed it. You guys, I get emojis at 1,000. I didn't know that was something you got at 1,000, or I would have been pushing harder for 1,000. I've just been like sitting here happy to get, 20 or 30 more subscribers more a week. And I'm coming up on my watch hours slowly but surely. I broke 1,000 last week, 1,000 watch hours. So I'm on I'm on my little way, and you guys helping me really, really means the world. Right, Mama Squirrel? Just the viewers are so important. I was saying earlier, I wouldn't be out there with you guys behind me. I wouldn't be out there with you without you guys to talk to. I wouldn't be out there without the questions and the input. You guys are so wise. It's better than, it's interesting. I am sort of without the internet for the whole time that I'm streaming because I don't have my phone because I'm streaming with my phone. So it feels like I can't I can't unfocus. I can't go look at texts. I can't do any of that because I'm using my phone to do it. So it's interesting. It's the most time I've probably, well, not the most, but it's the most focused time I've spent with technology while not engaging in other aspects of technology. But I've also got all of you guys, and it makes all the difference. I'm probably babbling on. Just be weather prepared? Well, absolutely, always. Antics of a Mama Squirrel, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. 1,000 memberships, you can make your own emojis. 780 subscribers. DOA in a bunny suit was adorable. I love emojis too. I don't know how to make emojis. You can make your own emojis? No, it's 3,000 for memberships. It's three it's it's 1,000. Yes, it's 1,000 for memberships, but 3,000 watch hours. So it's 1,000 members and 3,000 watch hours, and then I'll get emojis. And I'm almost to 1,000 members, but I'm only at about 1,000 watch hours. So I've got about a third of the watch hours I need. So I need to keep getting my tushy downtown and getting in the hours, the watch hours. Um, so I can make my own emojis. I am close. And I know that I know that's the weird thing. I can just ask. It's almost like having a personal assistant when you're in chat. I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know the other thing. Um there is a playlist for Portland that supports everybody that Fluffer Squirrel put together. Uh Mike G503 is on there, and Lisa's Day Off PDX is on there. It's Lisa's Day Off PDX, right? And Rika 503 is in there, as well as I am. So please go to the playlist that Fluffer Squirrel put together for Portland. Yeah. And Jules Fire Rocks, I really appreciate that. it's just an interesting experience, right? It's so completely different. I don't know how to explain it to you guys because it's so focused in on just the streaming. And you know, part of that's maybe because I'm new. Maybe as I get better at this, I'll be able to concentrate on streaming and other things. That could totally be. Maybe my experience isn't the difference between watching and viewing, it's the difference between being experienced at, or the difference between watching and taping, but just being inexperienced at taping. Yeah. So here is Lisa's day off. And here's Rika. And there's my buy me a coffee if you're interested. And my email. I should have those in one ticker too. And there's, yep, Lisa, here's yours, right? Lisa's day off 503. Yeah. I can't remember who's got PDX and who's got 503. Rika is PDX. Of course, I got them all mixed up. But Fluffer Squirrel's got the links here for you guys. And unless you've got other questions, you guys, it has been, yep, there's my buy me a coffee. It has been almost 2 hours and I am beat. Thank you, Fluffer, for all your work. I was talking on and on about how your list in itself is a way of protest. And I know you know that, you must know that. But just the list is a form of protest, and moderating is a form of protest. They're all forms of protest that are really vitally important. And we need everybody to get that. So, thank you to everybody for joining the stream. And I will make this a. Oh, do we have another stream to go to? Fluffer, do we have another stream to go to? MLH, you guys are amazing for coming over here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And y'all stay safe. Is Liz Gale live right now? Let's go over to Liz Gale. We need to go watch Liz Gale because she is the best. So, thank you all for coming. Head over to Liz Gale. I'll catch you in the comments. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.